What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, okay? It is the 25th day of February. Here we are sitting at about $0.00218. Roughly 9 hours and 27 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, let's get into it, you guys. Okay, so here we are, consolidating, and honestly, Zebec, you actually look a little bit better than the average altcoin, right? The average altcoin over the past few days has seen a little bit of a break of this area here. Higher lows nonetheless. Um, you're not like phenomenally better than the average altcoin, but clearly showing a little bit more resilience here. That might be attributed to the fact that, again, you've been selling off a little bit more aggressively. You got this lower low, lower high kind of dynamic here that you've been following, and you're at the lower ends of that area. So I would think that we do move up. The call has been from this area more or less, regardless if we see a higher low from here, a lower low, whatever it might be. The call more or less is that before we go too much lower than this low, if lower at all, that we will see prices somewhere around 0.003 again, something that would mark a lower high in this kind of dynamic. I want to look at the short-term stuff, see what's going on, and then we'll come back and talk about that. Okay, so 1 hour time frame here. Looking at this with the RSI. RSI looks good to me. Looks bullish. Good stuff, guys. Finding support at the 50 after getting into the overbought zone. That's always encourageable. The stochastics look great. Look really good. MACD looks good as well. On the 1 hour time frame, that's nice. That would imply then, right now, it's the 14th hour, 34 minutes UTC time on this day, the 25th of February. That would imply that between now and the coming hours that we continue to grow, there's probably going to be higher prices by the end of this day. Does that mean, does the 1 hour time frame looking bullish, does that mean that we're going to get above these highs? No. Doesn't mean that we're going to get above these highs, but it could. You're showing the right stuff in order to be productive. Again, though, I don't get too excited for the 1 hour time frame. Let's talk about the 4 hour. The 4 hour here, MACD is not going to help us at all. The RSI, the stochastics, probably none of it's going to help us. We're just so choppy and sideways. Yes, we look bullish here. Every time we've looked bullish, we've actually been at a relative high, and we've been at this exact same area that we're at now for resistance. That doesn't mean we have to move down now, because none of these times really came with a moment where we got overbought in the RSI. We rejected the RSI every single time. Yes, we got overbought here. Yes, we got overbought here, but they were rejections. If we actually get overbought here with the RSI, if we actually persist and live there for a little bit, that could happen today, between today and tomorrow. You might actually be breaking out of this range overall and sending it to higher prices. You probably have to stop at this high, and if you didn't stop there, you might just make a really solid move all the way up to this area here. I wouldn't think that you'd break out, quote unquote, and then stop here. So the only other areas to really consider would be like here to here, this zone, which is between 0.024 and 0.025, or something all the way up here around 0.0273. And of course, yes, I expect there to be volatility, whatever. We're going to work our way up to this 0.003 level ultimately. I don't know if it happens in a move quite like this, but it could. It could, and maybe that starts now. The question, I guess, is, are we going to get overbought here? Is this just another point to find resistance? If it is, cool. Come back down, find another higher low like you have been, and then we can try again later. But I don't know, man. Something tells me you're about to break out, ZBCN. Zebecians, get ready for a little bit of a move. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Not like this, man. But a little something, something. Yeah. Daily time frame here. RSI looks productive. Stochastics look productive. The MACD looks productive. It's bearish overall, but I like what you're doing here. I'm going to call for it. I think that's what's going to happen. That's the call, guys. We're going to move up from here. I don't think that we're going to move lower. I don't even think that we're going to reject this area and continue to consolidate. I think that between now and the end of this week, which would be, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So between now and, let's just say, the end of the month, I expect that ZBCN will be above 0.0234. It's not that groundbreaking, but still, it's a little something. You're probably by the end of the month going to be breaking out of this area here. You could by the end of the month, in the next 3 days, you could be all the way up at 0.027, which again doesn't sound that exciting, but from here to there, over the next 3 days, 23% pump. That's great, or more. That's great. I could really see that happening. And then that would be so good because end of the month pump, and then you dump in the beginning of March to back test prior support. It would actually be really good, I think, to play out that way. Timing wise, it would work out really well. But we'll see. It doesn't have to happen here. If we find resistance here and we come back down, if I'm wrong and I'm misreading the 4-hour time frame or the 1-hour time frame, in this choppy sideways stuff, that the odds of me being wrong are probably better here than they are of me being right because it's so choppy and sideways. But I'm making the call. I think that we are about to break out. I think that anytime now between now and the next 24 hours, we should be seeing prices above 0.0025, and that should set off a chain reaction that allows you to get above these prices here and potentially contest these 0.003 levels. If you get above there, guys, we're going to have a whole different discussion, but I do expect we find resistance around 0.003. We could get just above there. We could stop just below there, and then likely from there continue on the same path that we've been on for quite some time. What I will say is this, though, because I just had a thought. I'm expecting March to be bullish for the average crypto. There's a chance I might be going with this trend when really I should be thinking about the market as a whole. I don't know, guys. I don't want to get too bullish, but maybe there's a chance that we could see prices above 0.003 in March. We'll see. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.